Hello, everybody, and welcome along to Commentary Live for the second part of our double-header today. The first one we saw was Fulham stunning Liverpool at Anfield, but of course we are saving you the best till last, as it's the Manchester derby. Manchester City, the runaway leaders in the Premier League, on a 21-match winning streak in all competitions, entertain a Man United side who, as of late, have been stuttering, but still hold the fact that they are the only unbeaten side in the only away unbeaten side in the Premier League, and are looking to return to second place above Leicester City, and more importantly, win to keep their slim title hopes to some alive and close the gap to 12 points. To 11 points in that race. Elsewhere, early on today, West Bromwich Albion and Newcastle played out a goalless draw in the 12 o'clock kickoff. As I said, Liverpool and Fulham was 1-0 in the Premier League. Rangers are champions of Scotland again for the first time in 10 years after they beat Celtic to the title. They drew 0-0 with Dundee United, did the hoops that meant Steven Gerrard has delivered glory to the blue side of Glasgow. But to this game, our commentator for it is Stephen Coppin. First of all, Stephen, good afternoon to you, and how are you, first of all?
I'm very well indeed, and certainly looking forward to this huge game. I mean, they say every week it's bigger and bigger, but we're just hoping for goals, action, and drama. I'm sure we're going to get it one form or another.
Well, I certainly hope so, and I can certainly share that excitement at the fact that it is the Manchester derby. We saw the first game in December, Stephen. It was quite a dull, tame 0-0. In which sort of both sides were accused of, playing for a draw. Do you see it being a different encounter, or do you sort of see it being quite similar?
If I knew the answer to that, I wouldn't be sitting here watching this game. I'd be out there coaching. No idea, really, to be honest. They often nullify each other, these two teams. I guess we've got to remember the last time these two sides met, Manchester City did win in the EFL Cup, 2-0 away at Old Trafford. But I do see that Manchester United are going to be more conservative, I would have thought, against Manchester City, because, as we know, City can run riot. And although United boast the highest scoring game in the Premier League this season with a 9-0 victory against Southampton, you never know what's going to happen out there. But United need the win. City want to keep maintaining that winning formula, as you described at the top of the show. But really, I'm no predictor. I often get it wrong. I'm just hoping and praying, fingers crossed, and my toes, for a classic game of football.
Well, some of the big games, especially this season, have probably lacked a bit of excitement, of course, especially the one that you covered last week with Manchester United involved in that 0-0 with Chelsea. I want to talk about Manchester United a little bit, Stephen. Obviously, the last three games, they have drawn 0-0. And, of course, prior to that, they beat Southampton 9-0 at Old Trafford. Gary Neville this week said that United are sleepwalking at the moment, not just for a title challenge, but for the top four. What do you make of his comments in that regard? Do you think United have just, run out of steam a little bit, or do you think that they will get back to their form, or do you think that they are in a bit of a rut, or is it just too much to read into?
Well, we like reading into things, don't we? I did read Graham Souness's article in the Sunday Times this morning going on about Fernandes, how he doesn't strike goals against the top six sides. Interesting to read that one, because he is a pivotal player for United. And without him, they don't score many goals. So they will certainly need him to lift his game for a top six side, or against City, of course, the top side in the league. So I think that's pivotal. I think Gary Neville, yes, they could be sleepwalking into a top five position if they're not careful. A bit like Newcastle, just falling down the table, because really, with this squad, and as Souness argued, it isn't the greatest squad, and the amount of points they've got, which he noted as well, it wouldn't get you in the top four a few years ago. So I think they're lucky to be there. They've got 51 points after 27 games. And I think any one of those sides, if you look down at the league table, I think we can almost discount Liverpool now, can't we? Extraordinary collapsing form. But Tottenham, like Aston Villa, even Arsenal, you could stretch the imagination with Arsenal and say they could get into a top four. It's very open doors. Look at Chelsea a few weeks ago. We're writing them off, and look at them now. They're back in it.
Absolutely. You make a very, very valid point in that regard. Manchester City, like, as I've mentioned before, 21 matches they've won in a row in all competitions. They look simply unstoppable. And I think the best thing that came out of the win on Tuesday was, it was 10 minutes to go. It was 1-1 against Wolves. And then they go and score 3 goals within the last sort of 10 plus minutes to win the game. So when they're not playing well as well, they are winning games. Do you think, the big question I'm going to ask you, Stephen, is, do you think that this City side is better than the one that was the Centurions 3 seasons ago to the one that's performing unbelievably well now? It's very difficult to weigh up, isn't it?
It is. I think one thing that's quite unique about the City side this season, as opposed to 3 seasons ago, is that the goals are spread evenly. There isn't the Aguero, who obviously has been injured for most of the season, knocking in 20, 30 goals a season. It's been spread evenly. It's the likes of Sterling, Gundogan and Foden even scoring the goals in all competitions. And that's been key and pivotal. And I noticed he's such a smart coach, Pep Guardiola, how he's changed his side on a regular basis without affecting the result. And that great man, Alex Ferguson, that's what he used to do in his heyday. And that's why he won 38 trophies in 26 seasons. So he is following that formula, swapping and changing the side, transition, rotation, whatever you want to call it. He's doing that very well this season. Arguably the best season he's had in terms of doing that.
Absolutely. I mean, talking sort of tactical analysis of this game, where do you think the key battles lie? Because obviously Man City's defence is so formidable, and you could pretty much put that down to one man in Ruben Diaz. Do you think that United, who have Martial, Fernandes, Rashford and James, do you think they've got enough to hurt this Man City back line that has been, alongside this amazing run they've had, so impeccable and so strong as much as anything else?
Well, what United will do is counter-attack, and whether they've got the pace to go past the likes of Diaz and Stones and Cancelo, and even Zinchenko's come into the side, is arguable. They need to score goals at Manchester United. Martial this season's only scored 4 in the Premier League this season. He's had a poor season after his great campaign last season. And the likes of James, I'm not a fan of James. He doesn't score enough goals for me. He has chances, doesn't put them away. And Rashford, as good as he is, just 9 goals return in the Premier League this season. That's a worrying stat for me.
Well, they've certainly got a little bit more to give based on those numbers that you've just said to me. There's a question for you that's come in, Stephen, from our very own Mike Harneman. He said, do you think Man United should be focusing on the Europa League like they did before when they won the competition to get through into the Champions League?
Well, sitting where they are now, they should really be gunning for top 4. I mean, they should be really going for a second place. And if they don't, it will be a disappointing season. Even if they win a cup or 2, they've got to go for second place. That's their mandate, really, for at the beginning of any season, is to, as Ferguson used to do, is win every game. And they've got to have that mentality. That's got to change at United. No, I think they should head for top 4. I think that's the key. That's the most important thing for the season. That's going to finish in not that many games away, are we?
Well, I mean, to put it precisely, we are officially now 11 games remaining, of course, after both Man City and United play today. They will be having 10 games apiece. Remember, Manchester City could move a staggering 17 points clear of Manchester United in the race for the Premier League, which would effectively put the red side of Manchester out of the race for this season once and for all. Or will Man United come back and continue their amazing unbeaten away run and stretch the gap, close the gap, in fact, to just 11 points? The time for talking is over. The Manchester derby is about to get underway. It's now time to pass you on to your commentator for today's match, Stephen Coppin. Over to you now, Stephen.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Football Live Commentary, brought to you exclusively by Commentary Services. It's kick-off time at 4:30. We're just about 3 or 4 minutes away. We have the team lineups, both sets of players coming out to this Etihad Stadium, United and City. They do battle yet again, and it will be, we hope, fingers crossed, as I said to Matt at the top of the show, a classic Manchester United City match. Well, the lineup, let's go through it. We've got City's. It is in goal, Ederson, who's kept 15 clean sheets this season. The back four is Zinchenko, Diaz, Stones and Cancelo. In midfield is Gundogan, who's back in the side, Rodrigo and De Bruyne. And up front is Mahrez, Jesus and Sterling. Well, the subs bench for Manchester City, it's Stefan, the goalkeeper. It's Walker, who's gone out of the side after playing in midweek. Then got Laporte on the bench, Mendy, Silva, Fernandinho, Phil Foden, Aguero, who's still recovering from a long-term injury, and Torres on the bench for Manchester City, the Citizens, the Sky Blues, the team that leads this Premier League 2021 season. Manchester United, it is indeed, who do battle here at the Etihad Stadium. Their lineup this afternoon, it looks like a 4-2-3-1, possibly very fluid indeed. Henderson in goal. De Gea is on family duty in Spain. His wife has had her first child and he's out there. So Henderson comes into the side and he will be playing his 5th appearance in the Premier League. And at the back four of Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, and it's Maguire and Shaw, with Fred playing that deep midfield role. James, Fernandes and Rashford in the middle of the park, with Martial up front. For United on the bench is Lee Grant, the goalkeeper, the English goalkeeper. And Bailly is also on the bench for United. Telles, Brandon Williams, Tunasabi is on the bench as well. Matic is back on the bench after playing in midweek. Greenwood also, and Diallo and Shortire, the 17-year-old protege, is on the bench. That makes that lineup in full. Well, it is one of the classic games of the season. Certainly has been the last 10 or 12 years between these two sides. But United certainly boasts the richer pedigree in terms of trophies throughout the years. Formed in 1878 as Newton Heath. They changed their name to Manchester United Football Club in 1902, known as the Red Devils, of course, and Manchester City, known as the Citizens or the Sky Blues, and formed in 1880 as St Mark's and 1894 as Manchester City. Etihad Stadium, the capacity is 55,017. Well, we won't see that today, unfortunately, but we're hoping to see a few games with the crowd back in before the end of the season. Well, as I mentioned, you are listening to Football Live commentary today, and this weekend we've had Burnley versus Arsenal commentary that was brought to you by Matt Isles. We had Villa against Wolves from Kieran Riley, who brought you that commentary, and I'm Stephen Cobbing, bringing you Manchester City versus Manchester United on Monday night with Russ Vernon. We have Chelsea versus Everton, and on Wednesday, Liverpool versus Leipzig with John Kane. So it is a collection of great games, both sides ready to go here at the Etihad. Sky blue for Manchester City, red for Manchester United, and City will go from left to right. Pep Guardiola sitting down his bench with that shaven head of his, and there's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer chewing gum as per usual here at the Etihad. Well, he's had a remarkable run from away, as Matt described at the top of the show, as the players get ready to take the knee. Well, certainly looking forward to this Etihad Stadium. A wonderful, wonderful stadium. If you've ever been there, if you haven't, do go. It's a superb feature of modern football. It cost 112 million back in 2003. And Fernandes kicks off. We're underway here at this derby. These crosstown rivals will do battle. Welcome to Football Commentary One's full match coverage of Manchester City versus Manchester United. First versus third, Pep Guardiola versus Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Champions versus the top four hopefuls. Drum roll is required as these two crosstown city rivals will go head to head. Spin it any way you want, but runaway leaders, the Sky Blues, are showing the stature of previous great Premier League winners. United going forward now. Down this left-hand side of this Colin Bell stand. Ball's just outside the penalty area. Referee is, what's he pointed to? And it's early in the game, 38 seconds. Jesus has scuffed and kicked at Martial, and have we got something dramatic on here? As Martial goes inside the box, there he is, he's pulled down, and the referee, Anthony Taylor, no doubt about it, has he pointed the penalty stop? We need confirmation. That's an extraordinary early penalty. Was inside the penalty box. There's arms raised by City defenders, likes of Diaz questioning it, whether it was inside. But look, Jesus bundling Martial off the ball, who's brought back into the side this afternoon, and it could well be. Let's have a look. What's the decision made by Anthony Taylor. Jesus is looking to the skies, wanting what he's done. It's Fernandez, who has yet to perform against the top 6 sides, will take the penalty. The resultant penalty, 37 seconds gone, and we could have a goal. Extraordinary scenes here at the Etihad Stadium. Well, Anthony Taylor wants the players back on the 18-yard line. Fernandez, number 18. Is this his 16th Premier League goal of the season? Here he goes. Fernandez. Oh, he's just tucked it in. The goalkeeper got a hand to it, and he looks a bit frustrated. Is Ederson, who's kept 15 clean sheets this season, but Fernandez has scored. He's netted the first goal. The whistle was blown by Anthony Taylor after 38 seconds. Extraordinary. As he takes the right-footed penalty, it creeps wide of the right-hand post, and Ederson did get a good touch to it. His wrist movement probably wasn't strong enough to take it past the right-hand post, but relief for Fernandez. As Graham Souness described in the Sunday papers this morning, his performance against the top 6 have come into question, and Jesus, who gave away the penalty, looks totally and utterly frustrated. It is Manchester City 0, Manchester United 1, an early goal. Well, we talked at the top of the show about a stalemate, about these two sides nullifying each other. We've got an early goal, and this should set the agenda here for both sides. Certainly for City, who want to maintain that unbeaten record. 28 games in all competitions have been unbeaten. 15 straight wins in the Premier League and 22 straight wins in all competitions. As City give the ball away again, Fernandez tries to find Martial, can't, and the ball pumped out there by Stones, goes for a throw-in. Rashford looking dangerous just on the edge of the 18-yard box. Throw into United inside the Manchester City half over on that east stand, that empty east stand. Good run for McTominay for United. Switches it wide on the left-hand side to Rashford. Rashford's got lots of space and time. Opportunity for Shaw to get it across. He can't. It was good defending and it had to be. Are they going to get the ball out? No, they're not. Shaw's got another chance for right foot shot, and Ederson had to make a good save. What was the defence doing there? Playing the ball out like a midfield player. Extraordinary. It's a very, very extraordinary start from Manchester City. I'm not saying anything quite like it. It was Cancelo who's deliberating on the ball, taking too many touches, tried to get round Shaw, tried to get round Fernandez, lost the ball to Shaw with a right foot shot. Perhaps, just perhaps, he should have done better early in this game. It is 1-0. Fernandez scored the goal from a penalty after just 1 minute. 38 seconds was on the clock when Martial went down. And that has separated these two sides. Early days yet. We know that. We know United and City will not want to play defensively in any shape or form. Free kick to City inside their own half, inside their own 18-yard box. And it's quickly taken to Stones, to Cancelo. And just to remind you of that lineup again, in goal for Manchester City, Ederson, Zinchenko, who comes into the side, and the back four, Zinchenko, Diaz, Stones, Cancelo. Diaz has been outstanding this season. Goodwin's back in the team in midfield with Rodrigo and De Bruyne, and Mahrez, Jesus and Sterling playing up front for City and for United. Just to remind you one more time, Henderson in goal. He's in for De Gea, who has his first child. He's in Spain, celebrating that with his wife. And the back four of Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, and Maguire and Shaw. Deep midfielder of Fred, and then it's James, Fernandez, Rashford, and Martial. Martial playing sort of more up front in that number 9 role. City have the ball though, playing it around in their back four. United, well, they were vilified really against Chelsea for not attacking by a number of pundits in the week for that against Chelsea. Sat back, and many believe they wanted the draw in the end. Chelsea would have felt that they should have also pushed for a victory. We've had some extraordinary results today, none other than Fulham beating Liverpool, Liverpool losing their 6th home game in a row. I mean, you just cannot believe it, really. Fulham, amazingly, now on level on points with Brighton. Just goal difference separates those two sides. Newcastle and West Brom, as we mentioned at the top of the show, had a 0-0 draw. Here's an attack now by City. De Bruyne tries to knock it wide left-hand side, can't. Wan-Bissaka now gallops forward about 15 yards. It comes into the centre. Beautiful first ball there by Fernandez to Martial. Has he got the pace to hold off Cancelo? Yes, he has. Holds it up down the touchline there and gets the throw in, does he? Was it a City throw in? Well, City looking half asleep, really, certainly in that first opening few minutes. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the hero of 1999, and Alex Ferguson in a new documentary, new film, Never Give Up, which will be released later in, I think it's May, I do believe. Did mention 1999, the European Champions League final being the best moment in his football career. What a night of football that was. For those of you too young to remember, it was dramatic to say the least. The last 20 minutes was just some of the most dramatic football of all time, and Ferguson noted that in that new documentary. One of the heroes was the winning goal from Ollie, a volley, reaction volley really inside the 6-yard box. Here go United, who are playing well, causing City problems. Free kick to United, Rashford goes down, and Cancelo again, who's had a bit of a shaky start to this game. Well, 7 minutes gone, and it's the first time I've looked at the clock and see how many minutes have ticked away. It's lively, it's entertaining, but that first goal makes it a little bit unique and a little bit different. It's about 35 yards out on this left-hand side. Colin Bell stand right near the touchline. Fernandez, the goal scorer, the first goal this afternoon, will take it. Or will he? Or will Shaw take it? Number 23 for United. Whips it in, goes towards the penalty area. City clear it though. James comes in for United, tries to win the ball back. Still with United. It really is a lottery out there who gets the ball. They're giving it away frequently, both sides. Here's Sterling now, holds it up on the halfway line, down on that east stand. Again, he's right on the halfway line. De Bruyne goes back and picks it up. Zinchenko, Ukrainian, the rap singer. Go on YouTube, type in Zinchenko, and you'll see some rap singing by Zinchenko. Don't give up your day job, that's my advice. A City knocking it about well now, building confidence. Shell-shocked out of the first goal. De Bruyne, lovely ball across, cleared by Maguire because it had to be. Lurking was Jesus. And here go City again. Sterling trying to dribble around 4 or 5 players. United, looks like a back 6 there at that stage. Still with City now. Pressurising this United midfield and defence. Whitefoot shot comes in and Henderson saves quite comfortably, really, in the end. Good one back in the side. And he'll be pleased with that shot, though, because it wasn't the easiest of angles. He had 2 players in front of him. He saw a little bit of a gap and went for goal. Good one wearing the number 8 of Colin Bell, of course. What a privilege that is for him. And Henderson made the save. It's his 5th appearance for United. And the 23-year-old, who's had 1 cap for England already in his career. Loans at Grimsby and Stockport early in his career in Shrewsbury. And certainly been around long enough. Signed his first football contract 10 years ago now, at the age of 13. Here's Shaw for United, down this left-hand side. Maguire goes forward about 10 yards. Drives into the middle of the park. Fernandez, nice touch. To Martial, wearing gloves. Well, the weather here isn't too cold, 7 Celsius. Sunny intervals. A westerly wind of about 5% chance of rain. And ball goes out of play down the left-hand side. Well, I've had an abundance of football on football commentary live. We've had Burnley and Arsenal this weekend. We've had Villa and Wolves. We've got City against Manchester United. And tomorrow with West Burnham, we've got Chelsea against Everton, Liverpool against Leipzig on Wednesday. Alternative commentary brought to you by Football Commentary Services, as Guardiola has a right foot touch there on the touchline. Still got it. Former Barcelona great. City have it now. Trying to piece together some of their stylish football that was accustomed to this season. Many are likening this side to the great side that won the league 3 years ago. And as I mentioned, stats reveal that the goals have been spread evenly. Gundogan's got 11 goals. He's the leading goal scorer in the Premier League this season. Sterling's got 9. Foden's got 6. Jesus has got 6 as well in the Premier League. So they're all getting involved. And De Bruyne, who's been out a fair amount of the season as well, has 21 appearances. Only scored 3. Usually scores more than that. Season's not over yet. 11 games to go. City's at top of the league. And we often say anything can happen late on in this Premier League, but you've got to say they are the champions elect of the Premier League, Manchester City. United will want a top 4 place at least minimum. They are heavily involved in the Europa League, of course, as well. Here's Maguire on the ball. Down that right-hand channel. Battling for the ball. Ball's given away. Lindelof back in the side. Here's City now, though, have the ball. Almost giving it away there. And Cancelo has to go forward about 15 yards. He gives the ball the referee, Anthony Taylor, says, no, that's a free kick. It was Stones who ran forward with it. And Pep Guardiola. Oh, no, there's plenty of time for this game to change. The ball goes back to Ederson, the 27-year-old Brazilian goalkeeper. 135 games in the Premier League. United have the ball, looking for a header from Wan-Bissaka. Gets up well. Tested down by Fred. Diminutive little midfield player. Does a lot of the patchwork work in midfield, piecing things together. Lindelof chips it wide down to the James. Tidy play from United, knocking the ball around first time, but then they give it away. And Zinchenko knocks it back to his goalkeeper. As I was saying, 136 game now in the Premier League. 67 clean sheets. Won't be one this afternoon, though. 15 this season. He's been involved in 105 wins, if you want the stats. Got 23 pages of it here if you want me to regurgitate it out. I won't. I'll talk about the football, the players, the action in front of me. Hopefully, the next 70, 80 minutes will be as entertaining as the first 10. An early goal from Fernandes after Martial was brought down by Jesus in the opening minute. A penalty, Fernandes scored. Ederson got a hand to it, right hand, but he couldn't keep it out, and it tucked in on that right hand post. United 1-0 up here at the Etihad as Rashford ushers the ball out from De Bruyne, whose touch there was a bit heavy. Down his touchline. Still 1-0. 13 minutes gone on the clock. You can see Ferguson with his face mask on and his hat on there in the crowd. 79 years of age. And it was absolutely wonderful to witness United under his tutelage. Another at their very best. Free-flowing football. Gunning for wins late in the game. Fergie time. Squeaky bum time. We miss all those wonderful sayings of Ferguson. And don't forget, there's a documentary, as I mentioned. Alex Ferguson. Never give up. He certainly didn't. Well, his Manchester United sides and United at the moment, at least portraying some of the qualities that Ferguson's side did throughout the years. City have the ball, though. They are the number 1 team in the Premier League. The last 5 games, one against Wolves, 4-1. They beat West Ham 2-1 at home as well. They beat Arsenal 1-0 away. They beat Everton 3-1. They beat Spurs 3-0 at home. They've won 20, drawn 5, lost 2. Goals 4, 56, against 17, points 65. Phenomenal. Here's City, down this right-hand flank. Colin Bell stand. Knocking back to Diaz, who's been a force to be reckoned with this season. What a player he's been. Portuguese, ex-Benfica. His 25th game in the Premier League. He scored a goal as well. Joined City back in September 2020. Here's Zinchenko, 24-year-old. Locking it forward. City going forward now. Inside their own half, United are pressing well, pushing City back, giving them no time on the ball to play their sweet passing movement of football. That's good work by McTominay. Fred gets involved, 2 players on him now. He's still got the winning mentality. He really did bustle and hustle. Flick on there, United going for it. Rashford, has he got the pace? No, there's 2 defenders who calmly get the ball away for City inside their own half. De Bruyne tries to get a first touch, can't. Opportunity for Rashford now, the number 10. Looking to have a right foot crack, and it required a save by Ederson. He took it at the second attempt, but not a bad effort from Rashford. As I mentioned at the top of the show, a few pundits questioning whether he's scoring enough goals for United. That was really a half a chance, but again, some sloppy defending from City. It was De Bruyne this time giving the ball away to Fred. He knocked it first time into Rashford. Nothing else on, really. He tried a right foot shot, and Henderson just collected it, second attempt. 16 minutes gone. Time is ticking by. Enjoying this match, I hope. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Ross Vernon will bring you another football commentary live game. Chelsea against Everton. Football galore. A feast, smorgasbord, a delightful array of games. Every game now affects the top, the bottom of the Premier League. Fulham will be delighted with their victory against Liverpool. That sees them level on points with Brighton. Now Brighton going down. While Newcastle are in free fall. Southampton stopped their free fall this weekend as well. A victory at last. It's amazing how things can turn around for either side. United now sitting back. Are they sitting back too much? Are they allowing City now to come onto them? Here's Mahrez with the ball inside the United half. Time on the ball. Here's De Bruyne, the number 17. Sky Blue go forward. De Bruyne has to knock it back. Finds Stones back on the right-hand side. Trying to usher it forward, can't. Shaw does well. And his left foot knocks it back to the goalkeeper, Henderson, who launches it. Goes towards the halfway line. And the ball goes back to Fred now. He has to hold the ball up. Lovely ball into Martial, who turns. Goes round as many can't. Gives the ball away. A little flick there from Manchester City's Rodrigo. He did enough just to see the ball back into defence. And City will build again. 1-0 to United. As here goes Manchester City. Half a chance now on the edge of the penalty area. But again, Maguire got his foot in. Here's Shaw now just ushering it back to Maguire again. Good defending from United. City, though, beginning now to have control of the game. De Bruyne finding Stones down this right-hand side. Goes towards the semicircle for City. City, as I mentioned, wearing their sky blue tops, white shorts and sky blue socks. United wearing red tops, black shorts, black socks. United going from right to left towards the family stand end of this Etihad Stadium. Here goes City. Zinchenko twists and turns and then knocks it down the left-hand side for Sterling, who cuts in just outside the 18-yard box. Good one. Tries a right foot shot, blasted over. It looked easy on the eye, and then the right foot shot, well, he blasted it over, really. Probably not that 100% good one. He was just on the 18, right near the D, on the edge of it, on the left-hand side, and the number 8 knocks it over. Head back, body back, ill positioned, and hence the ball goes flying over the crossbar. If there's any fans in there, it would have been row P. Henderson will take the goal kick, wearing all yellow. And they take it inside the 18-yard box. Ball goes into the middle of the park with Martial. He's got two players surrounding him. He still managed to hold it off, and then he worms himself out to the right-hand side. Wan-Bissaka, who played well against Chelsea, I thought. Scott McTominay switching play now to Shaw on the left-hand side, down this Colin Bell stand end on the halfway line for United. Here's Maguire, turns, dummies, knocks it to Shaw. And you can see Solskjaer just pointing back towards the goalkeeper as the ball goes flying down the left-hand side. United give the ball away. It's a throw-in to City inside their own half, about halfway inside their own half. Adrian Henderson has kept 8 clean sheets this season. Of course, he played for Sheffield United last season. Sheffield, that is. Will be back in the Championship next season. Probably joined by West Brom. And then there's a few clubs who are in dire trouble now at the foot of the table. Talked about Brighton. Talked about Fulham. We should mention Newcastle as well are in the mix. Burnley as well. City take a quick free kick. Mahrez, who needs to get involved in this game if City are going to trouble Henderson's goal. Here goes Goodwin down that left-hand channel, right near the corner post. Corner flag, I should say. Goodwin, and you'll get a throw in, will he? No, he looks a bit frustrated. McTominay and him bustling away, 6'4" McTominay has got a great touch. It is a City throw. About 10 yards away from the corner flag. 21 minutes gone. just about halfway through this first half. City trying to pierce open this United defence. Going forward now on the edge of the 18-yard area. Smashes into Lindelof the ball. Comes back for Sterling. Holds it up. Little ball in from Zinchenko, but cleared away by Rashford for United. United really are behind the ball now. They were pressing so well in the first 15 minutes, but now they're just ushering City on. And that will cause problems if they continue to play this way. Reverting back to type United now as City come forward. Here goes Stones on a run, a 20-yard run. Knocks it wide on the right-hand channel. Where's the ball going to go? Goes to Maguire's feet only. And it's Rashford now on a counter-attack. England's super striker. Rashford tries to go around 3 or 4 players, and it's eventually ushered back to the goalkeeper, Ederson, who knocks it out for De Bruyne. Counter-attack for City now. 1-0 to Manchester United. Fernandes goal. A rare goal for him against top 6 sides. Only his 3rd goal. Scored 21 other goals against other teams not in the top 6. So City now. Sterling inside the 18-yard box. What's he going to do? Looking forward, get on his right foot. Goes past 2 or 3 players, falls down. Referee Anthony Taylor says play on. No penalty. Play on United. Martial thumps into the City midfielder Rodrigo, but still City have the ball. Down that left-hand side now to De Bruyne, who swapped sides. On his left foot, tries to whip it into the 18-yard box. Can't. Still City have the ball. Zinchenko holds it nicely. Good one. Number 8. Back for De Bruyne down this left-hand side. Knocking it about like the great Barcelona side of a few years back. Here's City. Stones. Revitalised this season. Back in the team. 17th appearance in the Premier League. Scored a few goals as well. It's best season for goals this season in the Premier League. Mahrez playing on the right-hand side. Mahrez, who won the Premier League with Leicester City, of course. Here goes Cancelo. Cancelo, who tries to whip the ball in. Maguire was there, just on the edge of the 6-yard area. And Guardiola's getting more animated as time goes on. Still in that earlier chance. Trying to take perhaps too many players on. He did go down, but nothing was given. Here goes City. Left foot shot. Oh, great save from brilliant Henderson there. That was a wonderful shot. I think it was Zinchenko that hit it, left-footed, or was it De Bruyne? And that was a really good save. It was fairly close to his body, so you argue the goalkeeper should have saved it, and he did. Keeping City out now. They're piling on the pressure in this first half. Cleared by Rashford outside the 18-yard box. Now they're trying to get it outside their own half. Here goes Mahrez, left foot shot, and that's wide and high. But he took it on, he had a gamble. It was Zinchenko who hit that shot. It was Guduan who knocked it inside. Then it was De Bruyne, and then on the edge of the D, a left foot shot came in. Very close to Henderson. You expect him to make that save. And it was a 2-fisted palm away. The ball didn't go back into the 18-yard area. That kept it safe for United. Still 1-0 to the Red Devils. Both sorts of coaching staff standing on the touchline. Guardiola and City. Maguire for United. Down this left-hand side. Still with Martial. Giving it away, though, by Fred. They need to keep possession in the middle of the park. At the moment, they can't. Stones is pushing up and causing problems in midfield for United. Like an extra player at the moment, City have. Here's Cancelo. Did well. De Bruyne, who's just playing everywhere at the moment. Mahrez almost fooled himself in the middle of the United pitch. As City go forward again. Down that left-hand flank. Down that east part of the stadium. City going from left to right towards the south stand here at the Etihad Stadium. The referee I should mention is Anthony Taylor. His assistants are Gary Beswick, Adam Nunn, and the fourth official is Mike Dean. City now inside the United half, 18-yard area. Ball comes to De Bruyne on the D, knocks it wide to Mahrez. Mahrez, nice little ball inside, and they can't quite get it across for Mahrez. That's a little bit too clever. Expected someone to have a pot shot there. shorted enough. Now he's got hold of his shins. He does get up eventually. As I was saying, VAR is Paul Turney. Assistant VAR is Harry Leonard. Now, the recent meetings between Manchester United and Manchester City go back to December the 12th, 2020. United 0, Manchester City 0. 3rd of March 2020, Manchester United 2, Manchester City 0. As United take the goal kick. And they're playing deep from the back and getting the ball away again. Good pressure from City. Here's De Bruyne now, has time on the ball. Looks up. Sterling's on his left. Mahrez is inside. Can he pass it to a teammate? He can. Stones has the ball. It's Cancelo. Finding Mahrez. Turns. Marshalled there by Shaw of United. And Cancelo knocks it all the way back to Diaz, Portuguese international. And also, December 2019, Man City 1, Manchester United 2. Going further back in the annals of history. As City go forward, though. Knocking it wide to Mahrez. Great control on his left foot. He's got Shaw to go past. Goes into the 18-yard box. Oh, dummies him beautifully. Right foot tricks it across the 6-yard area, but it goes eventually to Rashford outside the penalty area, and an escape there for United as Wan-Bissaka tries to get it off Zinchenko and can't. Here's De Bruyne and Zinchenko down the left-hand side. De Bruyne trying to find Zinchenko, knocks it back for De Bruyne. De Bruyne dummies, has a shot blocked by United. It's all action, all City. It's all the citizens. They go forward again. Cancelo tries a right foot shot, wide. Goal kick to United. Is that a corner? Let's have a look at the referee. Mahrez there, looking lively. The former Leicester player. He marvels me during that great run of Leicester City when they won the Premier League. Outstanding players. It is a corner to City. And as I mentioned, April 2019, Manchester United 2, Manchester United 0, Manchester City 2. Most recent games against these two sides, including today's game, of course. Zinchenko, De Bruyne, looking busy, right foot crossing to the penalty area, into the mix. Cleared by Maguire with his head. Cleared away by United. Fred trying to give it away. He was heavily pushed there. And it's a free kick. De Bruyne has come into this game. It was a very lacklustre start from City. They looked amused when Martial went down. He was crowded by 3 or 4 players, and Jesus was accused of pushing him inside the penalty area. Fernandes, as I mentioned, scored after 1 minute for United. It's Maguire for United. Knocks it to Shaw. Shaw trying to find Maguire, who gives the ball away. It's really good pressure from Jesus there, did really well. United going forward again. What can they do with it this time? Rodrigo, and more closer to the United goal. Cancelo. Diaz holds it up well. It's all City at the moment. Has been probably since the 14th or 15th minute. And here you go, United though on a counter-attack. Finding Rashford down this left-hand side. Holds it up, turns, looking for runners, looking for Shaw, finds him. He raises his right hand as if to say, where is everyone? The ball goes across the face of the goal, a dangerous ball, but it is retrieved by Lindelof and then Maguire. As the ball can't quite find Fernandes. This time, De Bruyne gives it away, and McTominay, the Scottish international, comes out with the ball inside his own half. Knocks it to Fernandes, doing a quiet game despite that goal. He hasn't really had any other attempts at goal. A couple of beautiful through balls early in the game through to Rashford and Martial, but we've not seen much of them so far. Early days, 30 minutes gone. Wan-Bissaka knocking it back for Lindelof, gets the ball back again, finds McTominay, who gives the ball away, raises his right hand and says, I'm sorry, that was poor for his quality. 24-year-old. He scored 4 goals this season in 22 Premier League appearances. And as I mentioned, Graham Souness is accusing Fernandes, Manchester United midfield player, leading goal scorer with 22 goals in all comps this season, of being a bit of a flat track bully. which basically means someone who likes to showcase their skills against the lower sides and doesn't perform against the big sides. Well, this afternoon, he's just ended that conversation or criticism by scoring the game's first goal. Gareth Southgate is in the stadium this afternoon watching this collection of English players. A number of international games coming up in the next couple of weeks. Going against Poland. A difficult game. Hoping to call that live on football commentary for you at some stage. There's 3 internationals. And it is a free kick to Sergio Anfitelis getting the yellow card out. Just walking away, ushering players away. It's Maguire who's got a yellow. Game's first yellow after 32 minutes. So, came steaming into Maguire. Didn't get the ball. He did get the ball, but he left Jesus on the ground. And there was accusations of hands and feet going in the wrong place. But it's a yellow card for Maguire, the £18 million defender. Don't say that very malice. A good player. A great player. Well, it's open to debate like most football players are. Ederson, the goalkeeper, has it for City, wearing sort of day-day lime green, I can describe it, with yellow boots. City, inside their own half, down that left-hand side. The ball's pushed forward, trying to find Sterling, but United had it covered through Wan-Bissaka. Here's James for United down that right-hand side. Good little ball into Martial, who's trying to hold the ball up. He's fouled again. This time against Diaz. It's inside his own half, Martial, but he'll be happy with that. Just giving a little bit of reprieve for United's backline there. They've been under the cosh a little bit, certainly since the 15th minute. United had the early stages of the game, and you could say it should have been 2-0 up. Poor free kick. Mahrez has the ball for City. Down the right-hand side now as Cancelo has the ball. Holds it up for De Bruyne, who's just everywhere at the moment. The number 17 pushes it to Sterling inside the 18-yard box, and he's just too heavy. Trying to find Goodwin, but can't. And Pep Guardiola will be very disappointed with that kind of play from Sterling. And I just wondered whether Sterling should have had a crack at goal there. There was just enough space. He got into the 18-yard box, and Bissaka held off a little bit. And it was McTominay who's sort of guiding Sterling to release the ball and a pass rather than the shot. Perhaps he felt 2 players in front of him was just too much. 34 minutes gone. Into the 35th minute here of this Premier League game. It is Manchester City 0, Manchester United 1. Maguire for United. Playing the ball out from the back, very deep. Cancelo again, busy down this right-hand flank. Fred, also busy for United in the middle of the park. And the last time City drew a game in the Premier League was against West Brom back in December 2020. It's been a phenomenal 2021 for them. They've got a lot of work to do here. As much as they say United are now just stepping back a little bit, foot off the pedal. They are 1-0 up. And we know how they can counter-attack. You never know which United is going to turn up. At the moment, it's the side that's leading 1-0. And are playing relatively well, but City are dominating possession. They have a few half chances. De Bruyne picks the ball up inside his own half, pushes it forward to Zinchenko. Zinchenko then is dragged back by 2 United players, one of them being James. And City going forward again. Good one. Oh, it's a lovely ball, but Henderson just fucks it up from the ground. Sterling read it, didn't quite, a little bit too heavy, and that's what Goodwin can do. That was a lovely pass. I didn't see the flag go up. That would have been just delayed by half a second. Perhaps Sterling would have been in. There are going to be a number of chances in this game. No question about that. As Fred loses control of the ball, as he tries to go forward. City have the ball inside United half. Zinchenko, first time ball, trying to find Sterling, but can't. Giving away. United have the ball with Wan-Bissaka down that right-hand side. He gives the ball away. Good one. Nice turn from him. Finding Rodrigo. Shipping it down to the right-hand side, but he gives the ball away. City have it back, though. Fred gets involved. Good one. Back for City. Citizens going forward again. Good one just holds the ball up. Okay, good one. Good play from him. Finding Jesus. He gave away the first goal. And he pushed down Martial. Good play from De Bruyne there. Just linking play. And Zinchenko trying to get the ball into the penalty area. Ball's falling. Only as far as Rashford just thumps it out. Stones has the ball for City inside United half. And that's very much what's happened in the last 20 odd minutes. Every single City player, apart from Ederson, is inside the United half. Have been. Camped there almost. De Bruyne. Zinchenko on his left foot. Looks it to Stones down this right-hand side. Colin Belstand is so named. Great Manchester City midfield player. The former number 8 is Mahrez now. What can he do with the ball? Takes on beautifully Fernandes. Right foot shot comes in. And that was good one. Well, straight into the arms. It was a low shot. And Henderson, a fairly comfortable save really, but really good link play. Lovely run from Mahrez. Good enough. Good one. Sidestep Maguire. Lindelof, I should say. But an easy save for Henderson, the England stopper. Gareth Southgate's watching. We're delighted with Henderson's form when he's coming to the United side. It's still City, though. This time they're inside the 18-yard box. 38 minutes gone. De Bruyne doing well. Here's Mahrez now. Dancing. Oh, just outside the penalty area. His ball is ricocheted against United defender. I think it's McTominay. Lovely ball there from Cancelo, but didn't quite come off. And United go on the counter-attack. Fernandes. Oh, tries to find Martial, can't. It was shipped too close to Diaz, and he pushes it out. Zinchenko holds it up nice on the halfway line for City now, attacking this area. And only United have had only 8% of possession inside the City last third. 26% for City. Feels like more than that, really. Certainly the last 20 odd minutes, 23 minutes. Good play there from Jesus, keeping up for Goodogan, about 30 yards out. 3-4 players crowding him out though. City have the ball again. Still with Zinchenko. De Bruyne. Finding Stones. And there goes Goodogan. He's got a bit of time now. What's he going to do? Tries on the left-hand side to find Sterling. But Wan-Bissaka got in the way. De Bruyne to Sterling. Needs to get involved in this game. De Bruyne again gets the ball back. Creativity is required for City. Here's De Bruyne now. On the left-hand side, he gets across the face of the goal. Maguire did well, backheaded it, goes out of the 18-yard box. Rashford picks it up defensively, does well, then knocks the ball forward to Martial. This time, he's forced back, but holds the ball up and doesn't give possession away. The number 9 for United now, inside his own half. Little ball into Fernandes. Fernandes back to Lindelof, and they build from the back with Wan-Bissaka. United still trying to get it out of their own half. They do now, eventually. Here's Martial, turns nicely. The number 9 switches play beautifully to Rashford. Really good play from United. Down this left-hand side now. Going towards the 18-yard area is Rashford. Little 1-2, trying to find Fred. Wrong option, Rashford. No question about that. Fred, I don't think he scored a goal this season. He wasn't to play the pass to. Rashford should have had a shot. 21 games for Fred this season. No goals in the Premier League. Got in the box though. You can't complain. I just felt Rashford again. Just learn to be more greedy. Just learn to get it sometimes. What do I know? Southgate's watching him. Delighted with his hold-up play and he's running towards the 18-yard box, but it's goals we want to see from Marcus Rashford. Boy, he got some assists this season. 9 to be precise. 40 minutes gone. Come up to 41 minutes. The game has ebbed and flowed. Certainly been dominated for a good 30 minutes by Manchester City, but it's been an intriguing encounter. The first goal, after just 1 minute, well, it really did open the game up, didn't it? Here's McTominay for United. The Scottish international knocks it wide to Wan-Bissaka, inside his own half, gets it in this time to James. James gives the ball away, City have it again, Zinchenko goes forward. De Bruyne is near, here's Rodrigo, holds it up well, tries to find De Bruyne, free kick given by Anthony Taylor, it's about 25 yards out, given against Fernandes. We've had one yellow card, is that a yellow? Must be Taylor looking at the incident, probably. Clipped the back of his legs. And it doesn't look like it's a yellow card. It is a free kick to City. Fernandes just questioning Taylor's decision-making process there. The ball has got hold of the ball. It's about 20, 25 yards out, and City's Belgian international. De Bruyne, 29 years of age. What a player he's been for City. Played 3 games for Chelsea early in his career. Jose Mourinho was the manager that got him out of Chelsea. And United had 4-man wall. De Bruyne looks up. Henderson has got his defence where he wants it. City have a real opportunity here to trouble Henderson's goal and get an equaliser late in this first half. I can tell the referee is happy. 10 yards. 2 players in front of the 4-man Manchester United wall. De Bruyne, right foot shot, whips it in over the bar. And he's claiming that Henderson got a touch to it, whether he needed to or not. It was straight down the guts of the goal, right down the middle. I think Henderson got a little touch to it. He dipped it, got it on the vow, and the ball went down and gets a corner. Didn't really trouble the goalkeeper. I'm pretty sure that he could have left it, but just to make 100% sure. Corner to City. Late in this first half, 43 minutes gone, still 1-0 to Manchester United. Corner comes in from De Bruyne. So really good one. Far post. Maguire is involved. Gets the ball out of the 18-yard box. Stones picks it up. Or does he? Just about. Knocks it back for Mahrez. He can't get possession. Wan-Bissaka does well. Rashford does well as keeping the ball. But Goodwin now has the ball. Shaw using his upper body strength to win the ball back. Wan-Bissaka there. A little bit too unorthodox. And it goes for a throw-in. To survive that City scare. Still 1-0 to the away side. Well done at Solskjaer. Still churning gum. Still looking pensive. City have the ball with Mahrez. Inside United half. The ball is whipped across the 18-yard box, but it's picked up by United. James now for United. Right near the semi-circle. He's got some space and time to run with the ball. He's having a great run. It's a good one to Rashford, just outside the 18-yard box. Holds it up nicely. Fernandes dances around 2 players, and then Scott McTominay comes in. Marshall comes in, but the ball goes out for a goal kick. Just miscommunication there between Fernandes. It's a bit frustrated. It's as good as counter-attack. This is where United can be so dangerous. They've got the speed to trouble most defences, even Manchester City's. It's good skill from Fernandes. Tommy and Marshall, well, they just more or less collided with each other. Ball goes for a throw into City inside their own half. Late in this first half. Pep Guardiola, they're giving the ball to Cancelo. Get on with it, he says. Late first half, equaliser will do them the world of good to citizens. Goodwin turns nicely. Beautiful ball in for Jesus. Back for De Bruyne, outside the 18-yard area. Lovely run from him. Knocks it wide to Mahrez. On his right foot, tries one, the face of the goal, and comes sliding in. I think that was Sterling. Oh, that was Jesus who came sliding in. Mahrez on his right foot this time. He whipped the ball across the face of the goal. It's a really good opportunity for City. De Bruyne did superbly well. He saw Mahrez, came in the 18-yard box, right foot shots. Jesus did look offside, whether he would have slotted that one in. Just wonder if Mahrez was on the opposite side on his left foot as Jesus goes clambering into the right post. Whether Jesus would have been offside when the ball was released. Really good chance. Just 1 minute of time added on in this first half. We've had about 50 seconds of it. So we are just coming to the dying embers of this first half. It's been an enthralling game. We've had City dominate possession after United very bright start and an early goal after 1 minute. Here's Fernandes, the goal scorer, knocks it forward, finds Martial, holds the ball up in the 18-yard box, tries a right foot shot, bang against Stones, and Zinchenko gets it out for City. And the referee, Anthony Taylor, has blown his whistle for half-time. It's been enthralling, exciting, and enticing to watch. Anything can happen. You do expect a Pep Guardiola team talk in the change rooms to make a massive difference. But they've come back in the game, particularly the last 30 minutes. Fernandes is the goal scorer who separated these two sides. But what an encounter. United have scored their first goal after 3 drab 0-0 scorelines. And City unbeaten in the Premier League since December. Currently going to the half-time. 1-0 down.
Yes, thank you for that, Stephen. Well, we wanted some excitement in the Manchester derby. And boy, did we get that within the first 2 minutes. Anthony Martial going down under a challenge from Gabriel Jesus. I timed that 40 seconds, unless, of course, it might have been slightly before or slightly after. Then, of course, I do apologise. But, of course, it's never conclusive these days what time something like that happened. But just to recap, it is Manchester City 0, Manchester United 1, and Manchester City's winning streak is not only going to end, but it's going to end to their bitter rivals Manchester United, who, as it stands, are closing the gap to just 11 points in the Premier League title race. Elsewhere this afternoon in the Premier League, West Brom and Newcastle played out a goalless draw at the Hawthorns. It was a result that wasn't really ideal for Sam Allardyce and West Brom as they bid to battle the drop. Fulham stunned Liverpool to record just their second ever win at Anfield, courtesy of a Mario Lemina goal. That was the first part of our double on commentary live this afternoon, the home of alternative commentary. Whilst here, of course, as I said, it is Manchester City 0, Manchester United 1. Elsewhere, Rangers have won their first Scottish Premiership title in 10 years. Congratulations to them. And Steven Gerrard, 55 titles in all now. After Celtic's goalless draw at Tannadice to Dundee United, it meant that they were out of sight with 6 games to go. And it means that Rangers are champions. And I don't think you would have known about it, given the players have been celebrating and the fans were, of course, parading outside Ibrox both yesterday and today. Elsewhere in Spain, Atletico and Real Madrid are facing off. Atletico are the leaders in La Liga. That's finished 1-1. Karim Benzema scored the equaliser late on for Real Madrid that got them the vital draw in that game, but Atletico Madrid stay 3 points clear of Barcelona, 5 clear of Real. They've got a game in hand, so effectively it's a good result for Atletico all round. Let's just bring Stephen in after that first half. I mean, as I said, we wanted some excitement. We got it, as you rightly pointed out. United have ended their 3-game run of 0-0s. It was a first half where United came out the blocks like Usain Bolt in absolute pulsating fashion, and then really it was sort of we'll get Stephen in just a moment or two, but of course it was such a pulsating start, that first half, and of course it was a second minute penalty from Bruno Fernandes that got United the lead in that game. Of course, Crystal Palace and Tottenham is another game later on in the Premier League at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Tottenham with a win could go into the top 7 and could go as high as 6th. Of course, Crystal Palace are 8 points above safety. And of course, should they win, you would assume that probably they will be playing Premier League football next season. Elsewhere as well across the board, the WSL, of course, is taking place, the Women's Super League. There were some big results. West Ham lost 2-0 at home to Chelsea. Manchester City beat Everton 1-0. Birmingham lost 4-0 to Arsenal. Brighton were 2-0 victors over Tottenham this afternoon. and Manchester United were 3-0 winners against Aston Villa. The games come thick and fast on Football Commentary live. Of course, tomorrow, Russ Vernon will be bringing you live coverage of Chelsea taking on Everton in what is a top 4 clash. You'd have to say Stephen Copin put on commentary to a point and to a T. Every game toward the top and bottom of the Premier League all has something riding it at the moment, and that certainly does. On Wednesday, Manchester City and Southampton will be covered on the channel. Mike Harneman will be covering that game for you. That game kicks off at 6 o'clock, so City warming up for that. Not in the best fashion at all. And, of course, we'll also have live coverage of Liverpool taking on RB Leipzig in Budapest, as they are taking the German side on in the second leg of their round of 16 clash in the Champions League, looking to reach the quarterfinals of the competition that they won back in 2019. So it is Manchester City 0, Manchester United 1 in this game. Of course, United, as I said, are closing the gap to 11 points in the championship standings. And it was a fantastic start, Stephen, by Manchester United. But then after that, it was sort of Manchester City pressure. Is that a fair assumption to base on that in that first half?
Oh, I think it's spot on. It's a highly charged couple of minutes there for Manchester United. As you mentioned, Martial going down early. I had it 38 seconds, just 2 seconds difference between you. But yeah, what an early start. But then, as I mentioned in commentary, it was all City, wasn't it? After about 10 or 15 minutes, they dominated play. They had a few chances. Henderson did well with a couple of opportunities from City. But it's not so much whether City will score and get an equaliser. It's just a question of when, isn't it? Surely.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it was very much like that against West Ham last week, albeit it was 1 apiece when they did get the winning goal through John Stones. But they are a team, Manchester City, that it is going to be very, very hard to keep them quiet for the second half, because they will not go down without a fight. One thing you did point out pre-match was Bruno Fernandes's lack of goals against the Big Six. As we know, no pun intended, with Bruno Fernandes, if you like, the amount of penalty he does score. How do you think he's done in this game? Because he is somebody who Man United do heavily rely on for creativity and providing that spark. Do you think he's been, doing a good job for the team this afternoon?
Well, if he hadn't scored 16 goals this season in the Premier League, I would have suggested that he's almost been like a ghost out there. He's had a couple of good through balls, as I mentioned, but he's not been heavily involved. The likes of Fred, McTominay in midfield have done far more work, more grounded work anyway. And he's been a figure at the edge of the game. But as we know, as the penalty revealed, he just comes alive when he does in front of goal. But he's had no other chances apart from that penalty. And but always a danger man, a talisman, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. He has certainly made a telling contribution this afternoon. The second half is going to be important. You did say your thinking is it's a case of when rather than never for Manchester City getting an equaliser in this game. What do you think they need to do? Do you think that they have a little bit more to give, or do you think that they can't give any more and it's just got to stay patient? How do you think City will sort of do in the second half to come?
Well, very much like Wolves, I presume they'll just keep plugging away, maintaining the ball and turning that over and just creating these opportunities. They've had a few. I think the likes of Sterling, I'd like to see to have a few more pot shots inside the 18-yard box when he gets there. Mahrez was very unlucky with his right foot shot that drilled across Henderson's right hand, and that almost crept in. Yeah, they'll have a few more chances, and I'm pretty surprised that they don't take one or two of those.
Absolutely. I mean, given the quality they got on the pitch, not just through creativity and good ball players, the finishing attributes of some of those players is outstanding. I mean, Ilkay Gundogan is on 11 goals this season, I believe. There's also Sterling, who knows where the back of the net is, Riyad Mahrez, Jesus. They've even got Aguero on the bench. He has known a thing or two about scoring in a Manchester derby down the years. United, they very much went in front early on and tried to contain Manchester City. There is very evident to see that they are thinking about going on the counter-attack. Do you think that they will be even more defensive, be even more shut up shop, or do you think that they will try to, at any possible opportunity or any chance, try and hit City on the break? Do you not see a change of approach at all?
I don't think so. I think they'll go. They went into the half time, I think, relatively pleased. Obviously, they're 1-0 up. That's a bit of an obvious statement. But coming out for the second half, I think they know they're going to be under pressure. I think they know they can take this side with pace on their counter attack, and they've just got to take those opportunities. I do believe if they're going to win this game, they'll need to score another goal. And the likes of Martial, a little bit disappointed with his hold-up play at times. If he can do some better hold-up play, then release Rashford, who's got the pace to go past the City back four, well, that could cause City problems on the counter. I think you're dead right. I think it will be United counter-attacking on the odd occasion and City just coming forward and just knocking the ball out. Been very impressed, by the way, by Zinchenko. I think he's done very well in the first half. He almost looks like De Bruyne from a distance, doesn't he? But I thought he's played very well on that left-hand side and has caused lots of problems.
Yeah, he is somebody who seems to be really acclimatised into that left-back spot, something that probably a few years ago you wouldn't have ever associated. It just goes to show if you like, the genius of Pep Guardiola, how he can sort of move players to really fit in a position that he wants them to fit in. Remember to try and follow us on Twitter. You can follow Football Commentary Live simply by finding our handle at Commentary Live 1. Why not visit our Facebook page? The best way to follow Football Commentary Live, simply go to facebook.com/footcom live. We'll join Stephen back for the second half in a few minutes' time. We'll just continue our little halftime chat because obviously Gareth Southgate is in attendance. There are some players who are trying to probably impress the manager to make a claim, not just to start for England, but to probably get in the squad. I mean, Dean Henderson is one of the three keepers that was selected in the last squad. When he's been called into action today, Stephen, he has fared pretty well, hasn't he? I mean, United don't need to worry that De Gea's away in Spain celebrating the birth of his newborn child when they've got a safe pair of hands waiting in Dean Henderson, surely.
Yeah, and as Graham Souness alluded to in the paper this morning, he feels that Henderson is just on the cusp now of replacing De Gea, which is a big statement, isn't it? Because De Gea's been a phenomenal force in the last few years for United. But yeah, Henderson's ready, isn't he, for that first team spot? And I think he's on the verge of really getting into the England, not only the squad, but perhaps the first team as well. Be very interesting to see that because I think he's played very well. He's very safe. His kicking, his distribution is pretty good as well, pretty spot on. He's definitely improved in that department. And he's had a good experience with Sheffield United last season. He played most games for them, played 36 appearances last season, and that really brought him on as a goalkeeper, I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously with Nick Pope sort of making a bit of an error yesterday, if you like, for Arsenal's goal through Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Dean Henderson will want to impress even more, of course. Jordan Pickford will be in action tomorrow with Everton, of course, as the three goalkeepers, you can arguably say, will have a case to start for England in the qualifiers coming up this month and the European Championships coming in September, of course, the delayed European Championship. Ross Vernon will bring you commentary of that as Chelsea take on Everton as fourth place, fifth. Chelsea yet to lose, remember, in any competition under Thomas Tuchel's reign. And Wednesday, Mike Harneman will be bringing you Manchester City against Southampton, 6 o'clock kickoff for that. And then, of course, on the same day, John Kane will be bringing you Liverpool's Champions League second leg clash as Liverpool will be playing RB Leipzig in Budapest, with Liverpool holding a 2-0 lead. So United lead the Manchester derby. They won here last year, remember, by 2-1 in December, if you can put your mind back to it. So they've won here before. They know how to do it under Solskjaer against the Guardiola team. Are they able to hold on in this second half and to continue their unbeaten away form? And more importantly, still harbour hopes of getting top spot and close the gap on Manchester City. It's now time to return to Stephen Copping, who will bring you commentary of the second half of this Manchester derby.
Welcome back indeed. It is an enthralling second half, we anticipate, as United players come through the tunnel here at the Etihad Stadium. It's Manchester City 0, Manchester United 1. A Fernandes goal after just a few seconds. Martial was brought down by Jesus, and a 1-0 lead still exists as we get ready to kick off this second half. I do not believe there's been any changes to either side, and I'll quickly go through the lineups for you before we get kick-off for City. It's Ederson in goal, a back four, Zinchenko, Diaz, Stones and Cancelo. In midfield is Gundogan, Rodrigo and De Bruyne. And up front is Mahrez, Jesus and Sterling, as United players doing a quick warm-up before they get the second half underway. For United, it's Henderson in goal, a back four of Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire and Shaw, and Fred playing in that deep midfield role, and James, Fernandes and Rashford in midfield, with Martial playing more of a front man. Both sides are ready. Jesus will kick City off in this second half. He was at fault for that, the only goal of the game after just 38 seconds or 40 seconds, depending on whose stopwatch you're looking at. But we're underway in this second half. Manchester City, well, they've just won every game in 2021, and they want to keep penetrating this United backline, which they've done most of the game, certainly after 10 minutes when United obviously were leading. Well, it's in the back line for City. They bring the ball out for this second half. And here goes City again, as Zinchenko knocking it back to Diaz, the outstanding Portuguese defender for City this season. They've got it all to do, though. It's not hard. It's quite hard to get past United. They're quite a formidable side. And even though they haven't scored in the last 3 games prior to this, they haven't conceded as well. So they'll be confident that they can hold this City side in the second half. Be interesting to see what Pep Guardiola, how he's changed the formation. He's a very fluid manager, and he changes things very quickly during the game, before the game, sometimes, and after the first half. Maguire has the ball for United down that left-hand side, as United will go and defend that family stand end as they knock the ball around to Wan-Bissaka. Dangerous ball across the field of play as City have possession, picking it up with Rodrigo in the semicircle inside the Manchester United half. Nice little touch there to Mahrez, who just knocks it wide. He's got some time on the ball, Mahrez, now on that trusted left foot of his. Finds De Bruyne. You can't keep your eyes off this game. Anything can happen. Sterling needs to get more involved. That's what we felt in this first half. Is Gundogan looking lively, looking for a 1-2, but McTominay picks it up for United. Rashford tries to go past. Was he hustled and bustled off the ball? Play on, says referee Anthony Taylor. Here's Mahrez for City now, inside the United half, into the 18-yard area. Right foot shot, and well, it's slammed. It was Cancelo, the fullback, and Guardiola's got his hands on his head, and that was a really good opportunity. We said they would come. It was Mahrez again, linking play. Laid back for Rodrigo, and it hits the stanchion right on the right-hand post, and where the crossbar meets. That was so close. Perhaps another 4 or 5 inches, it would have been an equaliser for City. It was Rodrigo that slammed it against the woodwork. McTominay having to deal with the ball. Has he given away a free kick? Yes, he has. 6'4" McTominay giving away a free kick, and good one. And City started off the second half very much like they did in the first half. And lost to United against Sheffield United at home 2-1 back in January 27th. They can't be winning here at the Etihad Stadium, but they're under the crush early in this second half. Zinchenko's there, so is De Bruyne. For City, free kick. Henderson lines himself up in goal for United. Martial's on the edge of the 18-yard box. As the ball comes in from Zinchenko. whips it around, but well caught by Henderson. Under no severe pressure, really 3-1, but managed to catch the ball. That's a rare phenomenon these days. Goalkeepers preferring to punch, parry. Magnificent throw by him as well. Releases Shaw, goes inside the City half now. Counter attack by United. Shaw releases Rashford. Rashford inside the 18-yard box. Back to Shaw. Shaw, that first shot, he scored! Oh, what a start in the second half. They've done it again. A counter attack really created by Henderson. He threw it out. Wonderful run from Shaw. He kept going. And he got it back from Rashford inside the 18-yard box. And I don't think he'd quite believe it. His left foot shot wide of the goalkeeper, Ederson, and United. Unbelievable. Have taken now a 2-0 lead against the run of play, even in this early stages of the second half. Great run from Shaw. Hasn't scored all season. Bang. 2-0 to United away at the Etihad Stadium. Lovely play. Lovely footwork from Rashford. It was cool as you like from Shaw. A brilliant finish from the England international. A left foot shot. Rolled it on the grass. Kept low. Through Rodrigo's legs, wide of the goalkeeper, and it's Manchester City 0, Manchester United 2. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer raising both hands. He's delighted, so he should be. Extraordinary. What a start. 15 minutes gone, Shaw goal. He created it, and he scored it. Brilliant play from United. What we talked about at half-time, counter-attacking football with Matt, and, well, we nailed that conversation, didn't we? City have it all to do. Is their magnificent 2021 run coming to an end? Good one. To De Bruyne. Rodrigo going forward now. Jesus intercepted by Wan-Bissaka. Great defending from United's fullback there. Wow, you couldn't believe it. Henderson's throw in front of the England manager, Gareth Southgate, would have impressed him. It was counter-attacking football at its very best. Great throw from Henderson. Almost went onto the halfway line. Shaw chested it down and then drove for goal. Released the ball to Rashford inside the 18-yard box. And then he fed Shaw. He kept on running. And then his low shot on his left foot was past the goalkeeper. United 2-0 up against Manchester City. Their crosstown rivals. Sterling, nice run from him. Right foot shot into the arms of the Henderson, though. Just on the 18-yard area. Inside the box, just. Henderson, no problems. Comes straight into his mid-drift. Clutches the ball, slows things down. And City, well, they were shell-shocked after 1 minute in the first half with a Fernandes header, penalty, I should say. And now they've been shell-shocked again early in the second half. A very quick-fire goal from United on the counter-attack. City will want to have a bit of urgency about their play now. Not only will they want to get back in the game, and they're well capable of it, we know that. We know they can do it. We know they can turn it on, win games, and score plenty of goals. But United, well, they are playing well enough to hold this 2-0 lead. Fernandes is deep. James is doing a lot of running. Good ones coming forward though for City. Inside the United half, where they'll be most of the second half, I'd have thought. Sterling's a good one. Down the left-hand side. The number 8 now for the Citizens. Whisks the ball in, but only finds United. Martial gets rid of it. Finds Rashford. Martial can't hold it up though. It was Rashford to Martial. Here's Martial now deep in his own half. Fernandes down this right-hand side. First time ball. Bit of magic from him. Great stuff. Great ball. Finds Rashford. Rashford trying to find James. Can't come onto the ball. And City have the ball with Stones. Calmly distributes it out right-hand side to Cancelo, the fullback. Number 27 to Mahrez, who's deep as well for City. Oh, I'll read that scoreline again. If you can't quite believe me, that's some shocks galore. Fulham beating Liverpool at Anfield. Well, that's Liverpool's 6th defeat, astonishingly, in a row at home. But this one, perhaps, it's got more surprise written all over it. Lovely touch from De Bruyne. Opportunity for Jesus. Holds it up, finds Mahrez on his left foot. What can he do? Finding De Bruyne on the outside. Knocks it back in towards the 6-yard area, but cleared by Maguire, cleared by United. on the halfway line, almost. Martial goes down, doesn't get a free kick from the referee, Anthony Taylor. Holds his hands up, City still going forward. United trying to win the ball back. Good play there from Rashford, pinching the ball off, knocks it wide on the right-hand side. Here's Rashford, the number 10 down the right-hand side, I should say. Near the corner flag. Holds the ball up beautifully. He's impressed me in the second half. Did really well to find Shaw for the second goal for United. Bringing it forward, they can't. There's Stones for City. Clutch of 3 players there, one of them being fed. Free kick to City. Goodwin's going to take it. And the home side. Not getting to look frustrated yet. Got plenty of room. Making plenty of good runs to cause United backline enough problems. Maguire has the ball. Knocks it back to Henderson in the 6-yard area. That's the ball first time to Lindelof, the number 2 for United. Ball comes into Martial, turns beautifully in the semicircle, goes forward about 10-15 yards. What's he going to do? He's got 2 players on to his right-hand side. Finds James. James, right foot shot. I think did that take a deflection for a corner? Martial looks a little bit frustrated there. He did so well in turning. He ran forward about 15 yards, kept going with the ball, and then released James. Did take the deflection. It is a corner to United in the second half. 55 minutes gone. Good game of football, this. Manchester City 0, Manchester United 2. The crosstown rivals. Arch enemies. Noisy neighbours. Call them what you may. City are 2-0 down. McTominay and Maguire in there. The 2 towering midfielder and defender respectively. James is involved. Shaw's going to take the corner. Down this right, Colin Bell stand. Ball comes in low, cleared by De Bruyne. Cleared by Jesus. Again, Wan-Bissaka knocking the ball down the right-hand channel, but it goes out of play. Throw in to City. Well, they've got it all to do. There are a number of subs that can make a difference. Aguero, Foden. Possible players that could come on and cause some problems. And as the clock ticks towards the 57th minute, Ederson releases City. They go forward. Diaz, it's a 30-yard run. Zinchenko, nice little ball inside to Diaz again. Going forward, our City. Good one, shipping it wide on the right-hand side. Here's Mahrez, position he loves to be in, on that left foot, on the right-hand side. Back for Rodrigo, about 30 yards out now, Zinchenko. Knocking it wide to Sterling. Sterling on the left-hand side, goes towards the 18-yard box. But Wan-Bissaka really close to it. Here's Sterling, holds the ball up. Oh, gives the ball away. Good pressure from United. Fernandes, he gives the ball away. City have it back inside the United half. Here's good one, nice little ball. It's knocking it around. Can they penetrate the United defence? Can they split it open? Here go United, though, on another counter-attack. The goal scorer of the second goal. Good run from Shaw, number 23. Knocking it wide to Fernandes on the right-hand side. Clips it forward, finds the head of Diaz. Comes into the head. I think that's Martial, but didn't trouble the goalkeeper Ederson. It's still 2-0. City still 2-0 down here at home. Astonishing scoreline so far. What a game of football. What a great game of football for the neutral supporters out there. You're listening to Football Commentary Live. Got a great game ahead tomorrow as well. A yellow card for sure. United's second yellow. That's the replay on the screen is just showing the opportunity that Martial had with his header. And Rashford close by, just tried to stretch his muscles perhaps a little bit too much and couldn't get any penetration on the ball. Here's Zinchenko inside the Manchester United half. Shaw was booked. United's second yellow. Maguire got a yellow for 3 minutes as City come forward. Again, split the attack up. Doing some good work with Fred. But City have the ball again. Stones for De Bruyne. De Bruyne running with the ball. Finds Sterling. Sterling. He's got Wan-Bissaka. Takes it down the left-hand side. Near the touchline, gets a corner. Good play from Sterling this time. A different option. Onto the cut-in, usually. Go back and then go towards the 18-yard box. Try and get it onto his right foot. This time, corner to City. The citizens take it down this column. Bell stand. Part of the stadium, the empty stadium. Can't wait to get fans back in. What a difference that will make to the players. Ball comes across. Left foot shot from Mahrez on the volley. Way over the bar. Looked good. But too high. And it's a goal kick to United. And it was that wonderful throw from Henderson that saw Shaw make that great run. And then you got the return from Rashford. And he knocked it past this statuesque figure, really. Edison didn't move his legs when the ball went into the back of the net. 3 players, well in front of him, Shaw. And Henderson. And that replay just really plays with himself. So it should be. It's a great piece of play. European-like. The goalkeepers to do that these days in this Premier League. It's so pleasing to see. Great counter-attack. Dean Henderson's been booked as well. Third yellow card for United. United falling. There's Wan-Bissaka. Goes back and gives the ball away. Have to be careful as Rodrigo has the ball. Good one. For your City. Oh, pinched there beautifully by Martial, the number 9 for United. He goes forward about 15 yards inside, halfway inside the Manchester City half. Finds Rashford on the right-hand side. Rashford tried to go round Cancelo, and Cancelo now goes on a counter-attack for City. Orange boots and all as he goes into the half of United. Wide on the right-hand side for Jesus. Back for Cancelo, who's come a long way from his full-back position. Rodrigo. Nice ball in for Zinchenko. Zinchenko trying to find Sterling. And pinched there by Wan-Bissaka. Fernandes trying to get involved in pressing as well. City still have the ball inside the Manchester United half. 61 minutes gone. Looking at the bench to see if there's any changes for either side, really. United have a number of substitutes they could use. Matic can hold play up really well. Perhaps he'll get involved in this second half. We will see. It's a free kick, is it? Yes, it is. To City. 2-0 to United. Got about 30 minutes thereabouts to play. Goals from Fernandes and Shaw. One a likely goal scorer and the other not. Shaw's first goal in the Premier League this season. I think Taylor's getting busier and busier as this game goes on. Third yellow card out now. It's a free kick to United inside their own half, taken by Maguire. Pumps it forward about 40 yards to Rashford. Gets the throw in. About 20 yards away from the corner flag for United. So they hope to relieve some pressure on their own defence. Walker's coming on by the looks of it. Kyle Walker. Martial doing some really good footwork there. Finds Fernandes on the edge of the 18-yard area. The ball's given away though. As far as Sterling. Finds De Bruyne. He's driving forward now into the Manchester United half. 30-yard run from him. Great ball. Finds Jesus on the right-hand side. Can he get the ball across? And defended superbly by United. As Maguire brings the ball out, I think it was Shaw down that left-hand side doing some great full-back work. Just stopping Jesus in his tracks. And Maguire picked up the loose ball. Fernandes. Looking for some colleagues to pass the ball. Some teammates. That's United. Looking it back to Henderson. As I said, Kyle Walker is likely to come on. No idea who he's going to replace at the moment. Could be Zinchenko. Oh, I thought had a good first half. What do I know? Comes from McTominay. There's a lot of work in midfield, McTominay. 4 goals this season. Justified his position in the start of this team. Here's Rashford now. Near wide to Martial. Tries to go around his man. Still has the ball. Finds Rashford. Does throws a little 1-2. Back for Rashford on the edge of the D. City pick up the loose ball though, do they? They're having to defend. A bit of pressure there from United. Beginning to press more in the second half than they did in the first 20 minutes of the second half. But here comes City now on the counter-attack. Good one. Goes outside the semicircle. Goes towards the United D. Then knocks it wide to Zinchenko. Number 11 for City. On the left-hand side. Near the touchline. Finds it again. First time ball. A great ball for De Bruyne. De Bruyne finds Mahrez. Mahrez trying to get it on his left foot. Then back on his right. Finds Jesus. Whips the ball across. So inches away from, I think that was Sterling, inside the 6-yard area. Again, City, that's probably the best opportunity they had to prize open this United defence. Really good play from Mahrez. Van Jesus and Sterling loitering really inside the 6-yard area. The ball was too far in front of him. And on is Walker. And Cancelo is off. Like for like, really. Full-backs. Walker, though, it's got even more pace than Cancelo to cause problems. So more of an attack in formation for City now. As United, building from the back. Coming back is Martial, doing some good work there. McTominay. City's biggest win is 5-0 against Burnley. And they're going to have to score 3 goals this afternoon if they want to win this game. United boast that 9-0 victory against Southampton back in February. Previous games, seeing City beat Manchester United, as I mentioned 3 or 4 of them back in 2018. City won 3-1 against United. And then back in the UFL, the 6th of January this year, City beat Manchester United at Old Trafford 2-0. Meaningless now because United are 2-0 up here at the Etihad Stadium. Goals from Fernandes and Shaw separating these two sides. United going from left to right towards the south stand, defending the family stand. City, well, they were playing probably better from the 15th minute onwards in the first half. They've yet to recapture that first half form. Had some half chances in front of goal, but nothing like they did in the first half. 2 or 3. And United having more time on the ball now in the second half. But a long way to go. Wan-Bissaka tries to find James. James goes thundering down. Welsh international. Scored 3 goals this season. His 11th appearance. And Phil Foden is also ready to come on. Free scoring midfield player. United have the ball. On the halfway line is Maguire, who's making a good run. Knocks it wide on the left flank on the touchline was Rashford. Martial doing some good footwork there. Quick feet from him, just outside the 18-yard box. Finds Rashford again, knocks it on to Martial. Martial to Fernandes, and he can't separate the two players. Here's Rashford. Oh, he's tried to pass it back to Martial. There's 3 defenders. One of them was Stones, one of them was Diaz, and they got it out for City. Still 2-0. Here's James. As I was saying, the midfielder come winger for United. Here's Fred for United again. Good pressure for United. Here's Fernandes. Holds the ball up just outside the D. Rashford into the 18-yard box. Holds it up again. Finding Fred. Got someone behind him. Looks up and McTominay goes crashing down. Half a chance for Martial. Knocks it straight into the goalkeeper who makes a good save. It was there an element of offside about that. Was the whistle blown? It was a great save, really, from Edison. It was one-on-one. Martial looks towards the skies. A really good opportunity. It was McTominay who went down. The loose ball fell for Martial, and he was one-on-one with the goalkeeper at the time. He slammed it into the goalkeeper, who made a good save. The ball spilled out. Stones was there to kick it free and out of the danger zone. It could have been 3-0. Extraordinary, extraordinary, extraordinary. Well, the headlines tomorrow, if the scoreline stays the same, it's a corner to United will be. They've ended City's fantastic winning run. Fantastic unbeaten run, have they? Sure. Deep corner. Into the arms of goalkeeper Ederson. Rushes towards him, his 18-yard box, and releases Mahrez now. Makes a 30-yard run. Goes into the Manchester United half. Tries to push it forward to Jesus, who wanted it earlier. And Henderson gets the ball for United. Just bangs it clear towards the halfway line. Up towards Martial. Doesn't win the header, though, with Diaz. And here's Zinchenko. Down the left-hand side is De Bruyne. Zinchenko, good run from him, the Ukrainian, knocks it across the face of the goal. Maguire, that was Lindelof who picks it up for a corner. Good defending from United. Wow, it is one of those games where even at 2-0, you sense a few more goals. Rashford's gone down, and that will be a worry for Southgate, the England manager. 40 games in England shirt for Rashford, clutching his ankle. Physio's on. Rashford, 40 games, 11 goals. Last season he netted 22 goals in all competitions. This season it's 18. And it's so unlucky for United not to score another goal. As we're saying a replay of Mahrez's run, he ran about 40-50 yards. Couldn't find Sterling on that right-hand side. He couldn't find. It was Rashford who was defending. And Rashford knocked it back. He went down. He's hobbling. Looks like Jesus is going off. Phil Foden's coming on. Hasn't been his afternoon. And 70 minutes gone. Phil Foden is on. Replacing Jesus. Rashford is limping off. This will be worrying news for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as they head into the last 10 games of the season for United. Well, head-to-head in the Premier League. City have won 15, United won 23, drawing 9. We've got a goalkeeper change as well coming on, I do believe. He's De Bruyne for City. Knocks the ball straight into the arms of Henderson. Clutches the ball, goes down, takes his time, breathing in those few seconds that he can just take away from City's attack. 2-0. Goals from Fernandes, goal from Shaw. Foden's on for Jesus. Phil Foden. What a player is turning out to be at 20 years of age. His ankle injury for Rashford. He's on the touchline. Sure if he's been replaced by anyone just yet. I'd like to know as soon as possible. City now go down the right-hand side in this Etihad Stadium. Mahrez on his left foot has time on the ball, finds De Bruyne. Looks up, has time as well in the middle of the park for City. Looking for runners. It's Zinchenko, I should say. Finding Diaz. Diaz into Pulisic. Time on the ball as well. United defending deep. Every player behind the ball. Strikers are playing like midfield players this afternoon. Here's De Bruyne trying to release number 47 for Foden, 20 years. He's had a great return of goals this season. 6 in the Premier League, 5 in all comps. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Pep Guardiola having a few choice words by the looks of it. Frustration from Guardiola. Solskjaer, I'm not sure what they're arguing about. It's very animated. Greenwood is on for Rashford. We've got 2 former England under-17 World Cup winners on the pitch. Phil Foden scored 1 goal in that memorable 5-2 victory against Spain back in 2017, and Greenwood, standing player he was in that tournament as well. The two-league trip up. Steve Cooper, that manager of Swansea City, of course. There goes James Freemason down that left-hand flank. Causing problems for the City back line. Ball is flicked up by Fernandes as the goalkeeper clutches it after a header back from Zinchenko. Safely into the arms of Ederson, just rolls it out and gets City underway again. Well, they haven't steamrolled United in the second half. I thought they would. Predicted goals for City, not United in the second half. As Goodwin has to come back into a deep line midfield position to get a touch of the ball. There's Zinchenko. Cuts it inside to Goodwin. 11 goals this season in the Premier League. Lovely step and stop and turn for him. Foden first time ball. Foden gets it now. On his right foot, outside the D. What's he going to do? He's knocked it wide to Mahrez. Mahrez controls it beautifully. De Bruyne finds Foden. Foden! Ooh. He had a turn. He smashed it on his left foot. He was about 10 yards out. Scratch of heads from Pep Guardiola. That was a really golden opportunity for City to get back in this game. They have enough time as well. It was great build-up play. They went from one end to the other. Foden's ball initially found Mahrez. Mahrez did a few step-overs, knocked it back to De Bruyne. He turned on a sixpence to Foden, but his radar wasn't on. He knocks it wide of the right-hand post. Sterling tried to get a touch on it, on his thigh, but he couldn't. But lively beginning for Foden there. Twice involved in play. Such a talented player. United throw. Down this Colin Bell stand. Lights are on here at the Etihad Stadium. 2-0 to United still. What rivals they've become over the last few years. City dominating. United for so long boasting a fully laden trophy cabinet under the tutelage of Alex Ferguson. Those days are gone. United really wanting to cement a top 4 place. We talked at the half-time with Matt about what their aims were for the season. Still believe it's always top 4 Champions League for United. A club this size should not be scraping through the Champions League via the Europa League victory. Here goes Shaw, United, on the halfway line. Goes into the City half and goes straight in towards Stones. Still with United on the left-hand side, though. Walker gets the ball. Number 2, he came on in the second half. And he gets a goal kick eventually off the back of James's backside. Number 21 for United. So a lot of running this afternoon. Shaw's down as well for United. Referee just stopping his watch, Anthony Taylor. Shaw has run himself ragged. Scored the second goal. It's a player that does such a lot of running. He gets utterly shattered. Often after 5 or 6 minutes, he just has that face like Domino on him. Often criticised by Jose Mourinho and his manager of Manchester United, but Shaw's got his career back on track. So another possible victory. United remain undefeated away. 21 games this season. Extraordinary. Solskjaer standing on the touchline. Guardiola getting closer to him. Shaw's going off as well. Not sure whether he's going to be replaced. We will let you know. Thanks for tuning into Football Commentary Live. Got next game. It's 4th versus 5th. That's Vernon will describe that game. City have the ball though. Down that right hand side with Kyle Walker, England international. For the Tottenham player. And the mainstays of the City side. Maguire comes across, tries to win the ball off Sterling and does. Launches it clear. Zinchenko for Foden. Second half sub on his left foot. Knocks it back to Zinchenko, number 11. City have the ball inside the semicircle with Diaz. Knocking it wide to Stones. Time on the ball. 10 yards in front of him is free. Here's Walker. Having to knock it back. United defending in numbers. Even Martial is behind the ball. Still with City though. Here goes Mahrez, who's come deep to collect it. Those brightly coloured orange boots, sips it wide. Here goes Diaz again. Down the left-hand side for Stones. For Foden, I should say. Still with Rodrigo for City. Knocking it wide. Creating space for City to attack down this right-hand side. Walker holds the ball up. Here's Rodrigo. What's he going to do? Just outside the 18 yards. Tries to push it through to Mahrez. Can't. Still has the ball though. City down the right-hand side. United defending patiently. Ball comes across. Oh, what a golden opportunity again for City. It was Sterling. Well, that should have been really another goal for the England international. Unbelievable that he didn't get his 10th goal in the Premier League this season. It was beautifully whipped across, and that's where Walker caused so much problems. Came into the 6-yard area. Somehow it went through Sterling's legs. Totally fluffed the ball, fluffed his lines. An air shot just when he needed to score a goal. He hasn't scored in 22 previous games against United. That's a stat he won't enjoy looking at, especially if the scoreline remains the same. And it is 2-0. Back kick though from Henderson. Headed down by Foden now. Count opportunity for City to attack again. They go forward. Rodrigo knocking it wide to Foden. No runners there for him. And he just releases the ball and it goes back into Henderson. Lindelof just marshalling him. Wow, a couple of opportunities. One with Foden and one with Sterling. And on the touchline, on the bench, is that man, Sergio Aguero. 180 goals in the Premier League for City. Scored 8 goals in derbies against Manchester United. But the 32-year-old, probably in his last season with City, has suffered from a long-term injury this season. Only played 8 games this season, 6 games this season. City, though, still dominating possession. Trying to prize open this very determined United defence. Knocking the ball wide. Walker gives the ball to Mahrez. Mahrez on his left foot outside the 18-yard box. Finds Gündoğan near the D. Back for Mahrez. Lovely ball in. Foden. Oh, it's a half a chance. He got caught up. The ball got caught up in his feet. Cleared by Wan-Bissaka for United. They still defend. De Bruyne, number 17 for City. The citizens going forward again. Dominating play again like they did for the majority of the first half. Ball goes wide to Walker. He shipped in that beautiful ball to Sterling just a few minutes ago. Good one. Oh, almost a reverse ball there. Beautifully intercepted by United. They go on a counter-attack again. Here's Martial. Wide is Fernandes. Fernandes, the number 18 for United. 16 goals this season in the Premier League. Outside the 18-yard box. Here's Greenwood. Oh, and he gives the ball away. And United had players in the box. And City now go on a counter-attack. Rodrigo, the midfielder, knocking it wide to Gündoğan. Number 8 for City. Inside the Manchester United half. Back for Gündoğan from Rodrigo. It's all go for City. Sky Blues going forward, looking for players to run. De Bruyne looks tired. Laboured their pass from him. Here's Mahrez. Holds the ball up. Looking for a little bit of imagination from City. United defending in numbers. It's 4 at the back and midfield. It's probably 5 strong now. Martial is also near the ball, defending well. Everyone is back for United. Rodrigo for City. Wide for Walker. He's got time near that corner flag on the right-hand side. Down the east stand. Wide on the touchline. Walker gets it back again. Finds Stones on his right foot. Whips it in. Good-looking cross on the head of Stones. No damage there, though, to United backline. And they survive again. 82 minutes gone. Really 2 clear-cut chances in the second half. One for Foden, who turned on the sixpence. But he couldn't score. And it was Sterling who fluffed his lines as well after a super cross from Walker. And just a minute ago, Foden got his feet tangled with the ball. Greenwood and Foden who played, as I mentioned, in that victorious England under-17 side that won the World Cup 4 years ago. Here go United, trying to defend it. They give the ball away. Good pressure from City. Good one on the edge of the D. Mahrez, lovely skill from him. Knocks it wide to De Bruyne. Holds it up. Goes round Fred. Does he? Will he get a cross in? Cleared away by United. McTominay was involved. McTominay again. Has it gone for a corner? It's a goal kick. Good one. Is incandescent with that decision. Total frustration from him. Number 8. He just goes right into the face of Anthony Taylor, the referee this afternoon, but doesn't get anything from it. And he's claiming a corner, I do believe. Surely he can't be claiming the penalty. or a handball, because there's nothing there, nothing going for City. 2-0 to United. Goals from Fernandes after 1 minute, and then Shaw after 15 minutes. Pep Guardiola, it looks like his great run is coming to an end. 15 straight wins in the Premier League. 28 games without defeat, but still City go forward. Still they attack with Walker down the right-hand side. Ball comes across, slipped there by Lindelof, and it's a goal kick. As it looks like the linesman gave a decision for offside. It was just Lindelof, it was a header from Sterling, which was way wide of the goal of Henderson. It's been fascinating. Thanks all those who are tuning in and listening to football commentaries live around the world. It kicked off at 4:30 GMT time. It's now 12 minutes past 6. So much to talk about in this game. Fancy steals from Martial, sees the ball go out of play and the City throw in. Talked about keeping possession from him, holding the ball up. Did all the fancy work and backheeled it out of play. City have the ball again. Last 15 or 20, they totally dominated play, totally dominated possession, totally dominated chances in front of goal. But they've not scored. Here's Foden inside ball to Zinchenko. Foden goes down. Wan-Bissaka just sees the ball go out of play. Into the free kick. Wan-Bissaka was a little bit late on Foden there. 20-yard, just a little bit quicker to the ball. It's going to be a free kick to United, to City, I should say. About 10 yards outside the 18-yard box, towards the corner flag position down at the Colin Bell stand. Ball comes in, good-looking free kick, but well cleared by Fernandes for United. He's done a job this afternoon. Ball goes out of play to corner. He's going to take it again. Raises his right hand. Sky Blues. Ball comes in. Headed on. And again, lurking at the back post was Stones. He totally missed the ball. City, after a good one header, have been so close to the first goal there. Beautifully headed on by Goodwin. No one was there, striker-wise anyway, to feed off that. Stones, well, he wasn't a candidate to put in that position. And it's going to be another sub, as I mentioned earlier. Matic is going to come on. Martial's coming off. Sensible for United. They want to maintain this 2-0 lead. Martial's done enough to suggest that he's played okay. 7 out of 10 this afternoon. Handshakes and hugs from his manager. He knows he's done a job. Matic was on the 32-year-old for the Chelsea midfield. Good performance in the player who wears gloves for United. Impressed on occasion. United with the ball with Wan-Bissaka. Ball's flying around in the air at the moment. Borneo brings it down, coming across with a great challenge as Lindelof. He's played steady at the back this afternoon. So Zinchenko takes it quickly for City inside the Manchester United half. I've said that so many times this afternoon because they have been more or less camped in there. They've probably got a pitching fee. Here goes Zinchenko for City. Holds the ball up, finds a good one. He's looked lively at times. On a right foot shot, just hasn't been one of those days for City. Well, they've proved this afternoon, early evening in the UK, that they are beatable. And that was a right foot shot that went way wide. Goal kick to Manchester United, who look very likely to win this game. And Anthony Martial has been nominated as man of the match by some pundits. It's a difficult one. Just wonder how many minutes we've got for time added on. United have done enough really in the second half for me to deservedly win this game. City have had their chances, but it's not as if they've totally outclassed United this afternoon. Ben Sinner said in the papers this morning that there was a big gulf between City and United. It's almost evaporated today. United, the side that's turned up this afternoon anyway, have done a job on City. They pressed early, they scored an early goal in the first half, scored an early goal in the second half. And City have not opened the door of that United defence. And despite all the work of the likes of De Bruyne, they just haven't been able to prize open. Fernandes does enough work there to get the ball back to United on the halfway line. Holds it up, does well. Matic getting this the rare touch there, coming on in the second half. Knocks the ball forward, down the right-hand side for Wan-Bissaka. Out comes Ederson, launches it high with his left foot into the Manchester United half. They don't want to concede a goal with 90 minutes gone now, United. It will be squeaky bum time. Fergie time, as it used to be called. 5 minutes of time added on. United screaming down the left flank with James. Holds it up, does he? Daniel James, number 21. 23-year-old, I should say, with 21 on his back. So into City there, they pinch the ball off him and they go forward again. Inside their own half. Launching it forward, trying to find Sterling. Goalkeeper comes out, does well, kicks it clear, beats it out of play, kept on just, and launched clear again by United. Manchester City 0, Manchester United 2. Didn't have this on my forecast today. Don't forget, it's been a weekend where we've seen Fulham beat Liverpool at Anfield. Anything can happen in football. It often does. Cliche goes. Cliches are coming out thick and fast this season. Stones for City. Back for Stones again at number 5. Solid game for him. Zinchenko has impressed me. Martial has been named as man of the match by a number of pundits. And there goes City again. And Bissaka just does enough to keep the ball away from De Bruyne, does it? Has the ball. And the referee says play on. United trying to get it out of their defence. Picked up by Rodrigo. There goes De Bruyne. 29-year-old Belgium international, shipping it wide now to Walker, the second half substitute. Comes forward 5 yards on the edge of the 18-yard now. Just looks up, has time. A give and go for De Bruyne, who clips it up, and that will go out of play. Goal kick to United. Well, 3 minutes to go of time added on. We've got 5 on the clock. We've had 2 of them. We've got 3 to go. Pep Guardiola back in his seat. Perhaps a dejected figure. His great run's come to an end. City's great run has come to an end in the Premier League and all competitions. They taste defeat for the first time in 2021. And as much as he may say that they were unlucky, they had chances. United have done enough. Fernandes coming off for Brandon Williams. I like to criticise Fernandes for being like a ghost-like figure, but he's done enough in the second half. He's done a good workman-like job in midfield. But Williams is on. A few minutes of Premier League action. Brandon Williams. City try to find Walker. Ball ricochets off United, and it is a throw-in to United and Williams. The ball ricocheted off. That was his first touch, a lively one. He's a defender by trade. This is his second appearance this season. England defender, Fernandez, scored the first goal, watching from the sidelines, watching the clock tick down. We've got about a minute and a half here at the Etihad Stadium. I'll repeat the scoreline again. Goals from Fernandez and Shaw separate these two sides. City are 2-0 down as Foden now has some space down this left-hand side. Gets it back to Zinchenko, but it ricochets into a clutch of United players as McTominay tries to get it out. But Rodrigo for City knocks it wide to Walker on the right-hand side. Mahrez, he loses the ball to James, who's coming forward on a counter-attack. He's got Akers in front of him, knocks it wide to Greenwood. Second half sub, he knocks it wide on the left-hand side as the ball will go out of play surely. Walker cutting a frustrated figure for City. He came on in the second half as well. And we've got, according to my stopwatch, 25 seconds to go. City, forward again. Good one. To Foden. Foden going forward again. 3 players around him. Referee gets a touch this time. And he gives possibly a drop ball, is it? McTominay looks frustrated. Trying to waste a few seconds. City take the resultant free kick. No, Taylor wants it back as well. He's going to give it to City. Greenwood's around Goodwin. Takes it quickly to De Bruyne. De Bruyne forward again from him. And again intercepted by Maguire. Then gives the ball away to Zinchenko. Knocks it wide on the left-hand side. They're deep into time added on. As Mahrez tries a left foot shot. So parried safe there from... And it hits the defender into the arms. Is it into the midriff? Is it a penalty? We don't know. It was a shot that somehow Henderson didn't do enough with. He parried it, went straight back into the danger zone. Mahrez shot. It was a bit lazy from Henderson. Lackadaisical. The ball came off, ushered out for a corner. There's a left foot shot from that man De Bruyne, who's tried everything this afternoon to get City back in the game. Corner. Gone into a minute of time added on. 26 minutes gone now on the clock. And there goes the whistle. Pep Guardiola goes up to Solskjaer, congratulates him, walks off down the tunnel. City look dejected. It's their first defeat of 2021, the first defeat after 15 straight Premier League victories. What a victory for United. Well, if you look at the league table, they've got a few points back and they'll be delighted. Shaw will be absolutely overjoyed with his second half goal. Henderson, apart from that slight loose save, really from De Bruyne, he just flapped at it. He's had a good, solid game. No match went to Anthony Martial. An early goal from Fernandez really paved the way open for City to dominate the game with possession and a few chances, the likes of Foden, Sterling. But it wasn't enough. United win the game here at the Etihad. A great victory, an important one. And it's just entered that march that City have been on for so long. And it's really opened up the top 4 now, has it not? Thank you for listening. It's been a wonderful game to call. And back to the studio as we review what I can only describe as an extraordinary result at the Etihad Stadium. Has finished Manchester City 0, Manchester United 2.
Thank you for that, Stephen. Well, we talked about how Manchester City, you felt, were just a goal away or two from clinching victory. That it was you could probably say to some degree in the first half it was a bit of a Man City onslaught, but credit second half, Manchester United really did their defensive work and really were deserving of the 3 points, which has meant they've gone back up to second place, back onto 54 points. And of course, now they sit 11 points behind the side they have just beaten 2-0 that has ended their remarkable run. Man United do like playing Manchester City. They've won 4 of the last 5 games they've gone there. And of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has really pulled it out the bag, as many felt that this United team over the last 3 games in particular was sluggish, were disappointing and looked leggy, But today they were far from it as they produced a fantastic performance against Manchester City to win by 2-0. 2 goals either side very early on in each half from Bruno Fernandes from the penalty spot. And then a goal from Luke Shaw saw United run out 2-0 winners. Elsewhere in the Premier League, West Brom and Newcastle had a stalemate at the Hawthorns, which finished 0-0. You can't help but feel for West Brom. That's a real result that's gone against them. They still stay 8 points behind Brighton in the race to stay up in the Premier League. Whilst West Brom, you could say, didn't take advantage, Fulham did exactly that. They beat Liverpool by 1-0 at Anfield, courtesy of a Mario Lemina goal. It was, of course, covered on commentary live. They, of course, recorded just their second ever win at Anfield in their entire history, and their first one in 9 years. Tottenham Crystal Palace rounds off this weekend's action, of course. But in terms of our double header, it's Manchester United who win and beat Manchester City by 2-0. In Scotland, Celtic's drawn with Dundee United at Tannadice meant that they conceded the title to Rangers, who are officially out of sight, and they have won their 55th Scottish top-flight title. Congratulations to Steven Gerrard and Glasgow Rangers. In the big clash in Spain, Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid shared the points in the Madrid derby at the Wanda Metropolitano. Luis Suarez put the red and white of Atletico in front before Karim Benzema equalised late on in that game. Atletico have got a game in hand on Real Madrid, remember, and are currently 5 points clear of them and 4 clear of Barcelona. Stephen Coppin is still with me in the studio. Stephen, you talked about during the commentary toward the end as well that you probably felt that Man City has an off day. But whilst you can say that, I think a lot of credit has to go on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's door, doesn't it, for the way he sort of tactically got that United team set up today.
Well, he certainly proved me wrong in the second half. I can tell you that, because I criticised particularly, I owned up to it as well, Fernandes in the first half for being a ghost-like figure, but he had a superb second half. He did some really good midfield work, running back, intercepting, pinching the ball and putting the through balls through occasionally. But the likes of Shaw was outstanding. I thought Maguire was outstanding. Often criticised Maguire, but he played superbly this afternoon. So did Lindelof. Every single player gave his all. And it's interesting to note, I should add this, I didn't mention at the top of the show, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said at the press conference this week that they're not tired, they're not jagged, they're not sleepwalking their way into the top 4. They're fired up for this game, and they proved that this afternoon, particularly in the second half, where they could have just succumbed to a Manchester City goal. They all performed to a man. Every single player out there did his job and did well enough. And even the likes of Anthony Martial were criticised again for some sloppy play in the first half. He didn't get hold of the ball, didn't keep the ball in his possession, played superbly in the second half. So they proved me wrong, but that's not the first time that's happened. But yeah, I thought United were outstanding really in the end. City, were they tired? Were they a little bit jagged around the edges? Could you accuse them of that? No, they're just a bit unlucky in front of goal. They had the opportunities. Foden, as I mentioned, and Sterling, well, he had a glaring opportunity in the 6-yard box. So they had their chances to not only equalise, but perhaps to win the game. But United, I think the cliche goes, they won deservedly in the end by just playing that type of football that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer just loves, doesn't he? Sitting back, then counter-attacking.
Well, absolutely. It certainly worked to a T for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who outwits Guardiola once again at the Etihad Stadium. It brings me on nicely now, Stephen, to name your commentary services man of the match. I mean, sort of just hearing what you had to say there, it seems by all accounts there's a lot of people you can choose from. But of course, you've only got to pick one. Who would you say was the most outstanding person on that pitch? And I'm guessing it's someone in a red shirt. I might be wrong.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? As I mentioned, I think everybody played their part. You go through the whole first 11 and say they did really, really well. I've got to say, probably doesn't get the plaudits he sometimes deserves. And he was named this week as Manchester United's Player of the Month. But I'm going for Luke Shaw because that second goal was so important. It was superbly created by Henderson with his long throw. And he chested it down and just drove forward and didn't stop running forward when he released it to Rashford, who gave him a beautiful ball back. And I thought he deserved the Man of the Match award just by his sheer tenacity at times. And another example was when he stopped Jesus going forward down on the right-hand side. It was a great tackle. Maguire just ushered the ball out of play, did really well. So the Man of the Match for me would be, and it's controversial, no doubt about that, it's Luke Shaw.
So Luke Shaw is the man of the match, according to Stephen Copin. Just a few more things before we do let you go, Stephen. Do you think that this was a game today that was answering the question of whether United are nailed on for second place? Or do you think it's answered the question of they're still in this title race? Because 11 points is still a big, big gap. And of course, City don't need to panic just yet. I mean, they will make up the game in hand that they've got. Obviously, they will go one extra game, won't they? So they can easily cut back to 14 points on Wednesday when they play Southampton, a game that will be covered on Commentary Live by Mike Harneman. So coming back to that question, do you think that it's answered the question of United and held on for second, or that they still have a realistic chance of the title?
I wouldn't put any money on United winning the title this season, but I'm the worst predictor in football matches of all time. I get it wrong every single week. In fact, I often put money on the sides that I think are going to win, the reverse side. So, but in saying that, I wouldn't say United are nailed on for second place either. I think Leicester City, if they can just show some consistency in the run-in, and like what they did last season, then they will challenge for second place. Depending on how Chelsea do tomorrow night, and that would be interesting to listen to with Russ Vernon as well, because that's a big game. That's a big game in sorting the top four out, in my opinion. I do feel the top five at the moment will play it out. I think West Ham, Liverpool and Tottenham have probably got too much to do. And I think West Ham, they haven't got a big enough squad for me. And I think Everton have shown some consistency. And they're on a good, rich vein of form as well. So tomorrow's game is key. But I think United, I think it's nailed on their top four, but it certainly hasn't given them any hope of, despite winning at the Etihad this afternoon, of catching Manchester City. I think this is just a blip for City. They will march on. They will win the Premier League title. No doubt about that. But don't put any money on that. That's all I can say.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, you talked about your predictions. I'd like to obviously ask a prediction for the Crystal Palace-Tottenham game. Of course, that's the game kicking off at 7:15 tonight at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Of course, Tottenham have the chance to leapfrog Liverpool and West Ham and go into sixth place. Crystal Palace, of course, a little bit of uncertainty growing around Roy Hodgson's future there. How do you see that game panning out and what is going to be the last game of today's action?
Yeah, again, key. Every game is key, isn't it now? Every game we look at is playing some part in the season, which is always exciting. Tottenham, they are such a struggling side, aren't they? When they do play badly, they play really badly. But when they play well, when they've got the likes of Son, Kane, Bale on fire, they're a dangerous side. But I don't think they can perform against a Palace side who are awkward to play against. And always, as they showed against Manchester United, can always cause problems for any side. They're an awkward side to play against. It's never easy on the eye watching a Palace game. The Palace fans won't like me saying that, but they always cause problems for the opposition. And Tottenham, if they can play free-flowing football, well, good luck to them. They will win that game, but I doubt it. I doubt if they win that game. I would go for a draw, but again, don't put any money on it.
What's the score? A bore 0-0? Are we going to go with a both sides scoring draw sort of thing?
I think there'll be goals. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. 1-1 draw.
All right, so you heard from Stephen Copin there that he thinks Tottenham Crystal Palace will be 1-0. We'll find out, of course, in due course when that game kicks off at 7:15. There's more live coverage on Commentary Live to come, not just tomorrow, but in the next few days. Russ Vernon will be commentating on the match at Stamford Bridge as Chelsea entertain Everton. I beg your pardon, of course. It's a battle between fourth place Chelsea and fifth place Everton. Chelsea, of course, yet to lose under Thomas Tuchel's reign. On Wednesday, there's a double header for you. Mike Harneman will be commentating on Manchester City as they entertain Southampton at the Etihad Stadium. Kick off at 6 p.m. for that. And then John Kane we'll be bringing you live coverage of Liverpool against RB Leipzig in the second leg of the Champions League match being played in Budapest. So that is all we have time for on this game. Of course, it is on Derby Day. It is gone to the red side of Manchester. We saw earlier on, remember, in the first part of our double games, if you like, Fulham stunning the champions to a 6th straight defeat as Liverpool's mounting problems at home continue and yet to really fire at home in 2021, whilst the game that has just taken place, Manchester United were victors against Manchester City, which just goes to show that maybe the blue side isn't as imperious as many thought. From all of us here at Commentary Live, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you very, very shortly, and see you again very, very soon. Bye for now.